A Mother's Hope and Reunion. Chapter 1. A Simple, Happy Life. My name is Mara, and this is my story. A tale of love, loss, and the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child. It's a story I share for my YouTube channel, hoping it reaches those of you who have felt the weight of heartbreak but still hold onto hope. I'm 35 now, but this story begins years ago, when life was simpler, filled with quiet joys and small struggles. My husband, Daniel, our daughter, Sophie, and I lived in a modest house at the edge of a small town. We weren't wealthy. Our furniture was second-hand, and our meals were simple, but we were content. Daniel worked as a carpenter, crafting tables and chairs with care, while I tended to our home and taught Sophie to read and dream. Our evenings were filled with laughter, playing board games by candlelight when the power went out, or singing old folk songs while Daniel strummed his guitar. Sophie, with her bright eyes and endless curiosity, was the heart of our world. We had our share of worries, bills to pay, a leaky roof, but together we felt unstoppable. Chapter 2. The Promise of a Better Life. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Daniel sat me down at our worn kitchen table. His face was serious, his hands fidgeting. "Mara," he said, "things are hard here. The carpentry jobs aren't enough anymore. I've heard there's good work in the city, construction, steady pay. If I go, I can earn enough to give us a better life. I'll come back for you and Sophie, and we'll start fresh." My heart sank. The thought of him leaving, of our family being apart, felt wrong. I begged him to stay, to find another way, but he was determined. "It's for us, Mara," he said, his voice soft but firm. "Trust me." After days of talks, tears, and promises, I reluctantly agreed. The day he left, Sophie clung to his legs, her small voice asking when he'd be back. He knelt down, kissed her forehead, and said, "Soon, my little star, I'll bring you a doll from the city." I stood in the doorway, watching his truck disappear down the dusty road, a knot tightening in my chest. That night, I tucked Sophie into bed and whispered, "He'll be back. We'll be okay." But the house felt emptier without his laughter. Chapter 3. The Growing Silence. At first, Daniel kept his promises. He called every evening, his voice crackling through the phone, telling us about the city's tall buildings and busy streets. He sent money every month, enough to cover the bills and buy Sophie new shoes. I'd listen to his stories, clinging to every word, imagining the day we'd join him. Sophie would draw pictures to send him, little sketches of our house, our dog, and the three of us together. For a while, hope kept us afloat. But then the calls slowed. Weeks passed with only a quick text or a rushed voicemail. The money stopped coming, too. I'd check the mailbox daily, hopping for an envelope, but it stayed empty. I tried calling, but his phone often went to voicemail. "He's busy," I told Sophie, forcing a smile. "He's working hard for us." But doubt crept in, cold and heavy. I lay awake at night, wondering if I'd made a mistake letting him go, if I'd lost him to the city's pull. Chapter 4. Standing Strong for Sophie. With no money coming in, I had to act. Sophie needed food, clothes, a future. I couldn't wait for Daniel anymore. I took a job at the local market, selling vegetables from nearby farms. I'd wake before dawn, load crates of tomatoes and greens onto a cart, and stand for hours under the blazing sun or pouring rain. My hands grew calloused, my back ached, but I kept going. Sophie, only 10 years old, became my rock. After school, she'd help me pack up, her small hands arranging carrots neatly. At home, she'd heat up leftovers or make simple sandwiches, waiting for me with a smile. "We're a team, Mama," she'd say, and my heart would swell with pride and pain. Life was hard, but we found moments of joy. We'd sing while washing dishes, or I'd braid her hair while she told me about her day. Yet, every night, I'd check my phone, hopping for a message from Daniel. The silence was deafening, and my tears fell quietly so Sophie wouldn't hear. Chapter 5. The Heartbreaking Return. 3 years passed, each day blending into the next. Then one crisp autumn morning, a sleek black car pulled up outside our house. My heart leapt. I knew that car didn't belong in our town. I peered through the window and there he was, Daniel, stepping out in a crisp suit looking like a stranger. Sophie saw him too and squealed, "Papa." We ran outside and I threw my arms around him, tears streaming down my face. "You're back," I whispered. "I knew you'd come back." But his embrace was stiff, his eyes distant. He stepped back and said, "Mara, I'm not staying. I came to talk." My stomach dropped. He looked at Sophie, then back at me. "I want a divorce. I've met someone else. I'm married now to her." The words hit like a storm, tearing through me. "What about us?" I choked out. "You said we'd be together." He avoided my gaze. "I'll take care of Sophie if she wants to come with me. I can give her a good life, better schools, new clothes, everything she needs." He turned to Sophie, who was clutching my hand, her eyes wide. "Sophie, come with me. You'll have your own room, toys, anything you want. I'm doing well now." I waited for Sophie to refuse, to choose the life we'd built together. But she looked up at him, then at me, and whispered, "I want to go with Papa. He can give me things you can't, Mama." My world shattered. I felt the ground slip away, my heart breaking into 1,000 pieces. "Sophie, please," I said, my voice trembling. "We're a team." But she hugged me, tears in her eyes, and said, "I'm sorry, Mama, I'll miss you." Daniel handed me an envelope with some money. "For now," he said. "She won't need those old clothes." They climbed into the car, and I stood frozen, watching my daughter disappear down the same road her father had taken years ago. I sank to the ground, sobbing alone. Chapter 6: The Darkest Days. The days that followed were the hardest of my life. The house was too quiet, Sophie's room too empty. I'd see her favorite mug or her drawings and break down. I wondered if I'd failed her, if I wasn't enough. Dark thoughts crept in, maybe I should give up, maybe there was nothing left for me. But then I'd picture Sophie's face, her laugh, her small hand in mine. What if she needed me? What if she came back? I couldn't leave her to find an empty home. So I kept going. I worked at the market, saved every penny, and prayed for Sophie every night. I told myself, "Mara, you are her mother. You'll always be her mother. You have to be strong for her." Slowly, I found a rhythm, a reason to keep moving forward. Chapter 7: A Glimmer of Hope. One spring morning, a letter arrived. I hadn't gotten mail in years, so my hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was $50 and a small note. "I love you, Mama. Sophie." My heart raced. I held the note to my chest, tears falling. She hadn't forgotten me. I tucked the money away, too afraid to spend it, too precious to let go. The next month, another letter came, then another. Each held a small amount of money and a note, sometimes just a few words. "I miss you." "I'm okay." My hope grew with each one. Then one day, a thicker envelope arrived. I tore it open, and inside was a letter in Sophie's neat handwriting. "Mama, it's me. I'm so sorry for leaving you. I was young and I thought Papa's life would be better, but I miss you every day. I knew if I stayed, he wouldn't help us. So I went with him and I've been saving the allowance he gives me. I send it to you because I want you to be okay. I'm studying hard, Mama, and I'm going to make you proud. One day I'll come back and we'll be together again. I love you always. Sophie." I cried and laughed, clutching the letter. My girl hadn't abandoned me. She had a plan, a heart full of love. I wrote back, pouring out my love, telling her I'd wait forever. I started saving her money in a small box, dreaming of the day we'd use it together, maybe for a trip, maybe for a new start. Chapter 8: A New Dawn. Now I'm still at the market, but I carry Sophie's letters in my heart. I smile more, knowing she's out there, working toward our reunion. I've started painting again, something I loved as a girl, filling canvases with colors that remind me of hope. I've joined a community group, sharing stories with other women who have faced loss but kept going. And I keep making videos for my YouTube channel, hoping my story reaches someone who needs it. Sophie is 13 now, and her letters come regularly. Last month, she wrote that she's top of her class, that she wants to be a doctor someday. She says she's coming to visit soon, and I'm counting the days. When I think of Daniel, I don't feel anger anymore. He gave me Sophie, and through her, I found my strength. I wish him well, but my heart belongs to my daughter and the life we'll build together. This is my story, a story of love, pain, and hope. If you're watching, maybe you're waiting for someone, or maybe you're rebuilding after loss. Know that you're not alone. Love can hurt, but it can also heal. Hold on to hope, because even the darkest nights give way to dawn. Thank you for listening. If this story touched you, please like, subscribe, and share. Let's create a space where we lift each other up, where we find strength in our stories. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video with Nayla.